We wanted Andy to have a life like anybody else. And it's really one day at a time when you have a kid with disabilities. You don't think too far into the future other than worrying. We wanted to have a life for him where he could do what he loved. And that's what's happened.
Penn-Mar Human Services has a vision as an organization to transform life into living. We use that term a lot because it really defines what it is that we're trying to help individuals achieve.
I had no prior connection to the mission of Penn-Mar. But what I found is the more I got involved with Penn-Mar, the more the mission just grabbed a hold of me. It's such a unique mission that I just fell in love with it.
One of our strategic initiatives as an organization is around the concept of being a leader. We are strongly committed to being on the cutting edge of designing new programs and new services.
There is an integrity and there's a drive to be as good as we can possibly be, not for the sake of being the best, but for the sake of improving the lives of those that we support. We constantly want to grow, we want to develop, we want to work hard, and we want to help people to reach their full potential.
At Penn-Mar, the folks that we work with in our program, we call them consumers, or sometimes interchangeably we use the word client, and that's to refer to the individual that we provide direct service for.
For many people with a disability, the focus is on the dis side of the disability. And at Penn-Mar, they really focus on the ability side, transforming what would be a very basic kind of life to living with all the possibilities and all the opportunities is what Penn-Mar is about.
I'm confident that any client that comes in here will achieve at a higher level here probably than any other setting that they might be in. And that's a big plus.
Andy was born with a lot of challenges. He has a very rare metabolic disorder. He had seizures and he had medical complications, and developmentally he's impacted. He has intellectual limitations, very bad vision. He has a lot of limitations, and as he was growing up, of course, it's very, very hard because you never know what's going to happen. We didn't know that he would even live.
Andy probably didn't realize that he could do a lot of things independently. Since he's been here, the staff has encouraged Andy that you can do almost anything that you want to do. I think that has just been invaluable in Andy's life.
I've noticed Andy has been a lot more confident since working here. It's gradually gotten, stronger. He's very social again with our customers, and they appreciate him working here.
We're really, really delighted with how well he's doing. He is more able to take responsibility. He had wonderful counseling to manage frustrations. He's grown emotionally, he's grown physically, just being stronger. And socially, he's held to a high level of expectations here. They really expect him to behave like an adult.
Our son Mike was born with a severe seizure disorder, started about 4 months old, and progressed into finding that he had a tumor on his brain. However, the tumor was not malignant at all. It was a benign tumor. Over the years, at a young age, we found that he was severely disabled from a mental function standpoint, and even today, Mike probably functions about 2 years of age.
Michael Pitts has a profound intellectual disability. He's nonverbal. He has a history of SIADH, which is a syndrome where you dump sodium. He's a silent aspirator, so he can't eat anything orally. He has to be fed via peg tube. He has a history of pneumonia, and he has a problem with mobility walking around, so he has a gait belt, and staff have to be with him all the time.
When I first met Michael, I was kind of intimidated because when you first see him, he's nonverbal and he's tall and his gait is unsteady. Now he's like one of my family. He's just like a brother. In the beginning, I couldn't get him to do a whole lot. Now he'll put his feet up, I put his socks on, his shirt. He can put his arms out to put his shirt on. And he's just a big teddy bear.
His care has been tremendous. His medical visits to emergency rooms is down to a flat-out minimum, probably the lowest ever in his entire life. So it's been a tremendous lifting off of my wife and I and our family in terms of worrying about day-to-day what's going on with Mike. And a real load has been lifted from us.
One of our largest roles, I believe, as a leader in this field is to allow our folks to experience more deeper, richer things than they've ever had the opportunity to experience, so that they can then make decisions about what they want out of life. And we can design our services around how we're going to support that.
Customized employment is about making a good match between a job seeker's skills, abilities, and matching that with an employer-specific need. We have some consumers who we created jobs for. A couple are working at our local schools, and they are just doing a wonderful job. They've been able to really fit into the culture of the school system. We have an individual who currently works at a golf course, and it's just amazing seeing him drive around in that golf cart and really love the job that he does every day. We have an individual who currently works at True Value, and that's a small town, family-oriented business. He just has a personality that welcomes all the customers, and that's really what customized employment is about, is having people be happy in the jobs that they're doing each day.
The consumers are great that we've had work for us. They're just wonderful people. It gives them confidence that they can be out in the real world and get a job that fits them and they feel comfortable. It's nice to give back to the community.
An investment in Penn-Mar is an investment in transforming life into living. We take very seriously the stewardship of any money that's donated to our organization.
We will do anything that is necessary to have our consumers become fully involved in the society in which they live. We face unprecedented pressure in budgets, and as you look at the consumers and the families of the consumers, it is very, very important that we find alternative sources of revenue.
The reality of where we are now is state budgets are very tight, and the expenses of care for missions such as Penn-Mar's continue to escalate. And the state funding just isn't there. So if we really want to continue our mission of what we want to accomplish for these people, we need additional funding sources, and we need to be able to raise private funding sources to keep the quality of care up and to continue transforming life to living.
Some organizations would define their success by how happy the folks that they work with are. We believe that a transformed life is very different.
Penn-Mar encompasses all the needs of the clients, medically, physically, that enables the clients to live to the level that they are able to achieve in their life.
Penn-Mar's made an incredible difference in our lives. When we look to the future, we had lots of worries. It's a really daunting and scary thing to have a child with disabilities, knowing that we won't be here for the rest of his life.
Transforming life into living can mean different things to different people. For my family and I, it means peace of mind. My son can live and achieve to the levels his mental and physical capacities will enable him to.
Because of Penn-Mar, we don't worry at all about Andy's future, and I'm just so unbelievably delighted to be able to say that. We know he will be well taken care of here.
We believe that we have a responsibility to help the folks that we work with each day to dream about what their life could be like if they were empowered to make choices that really allowed them to move forward.